I'm going with Finn Rizal and Bab Morda. Is Bab Morda a sorcerer? Like a?
I don't think we should parse so thinly. Like, she's a witch.
Okay, good, yeah. So I like them because she scares the crap out of me. Bab Morda when I was a kid. Oh man, she was mean. And that fight when he turns that metal thing in, walking around, horrible. All right, now final question. This is from Dan Ali Sr. He is from the excellent podcast known as and I know I just drew a blank.
The Movie Cellar?
Yes, The Movie Cellar. Follow him on Instagram. You'll love it. I love what they do. Sorry about that. Love all The Movie Cellar. And his question is, what are your personal experiences with witchcraft?
Okay. So I alluded to this earlier.
Yes.
So I don't have any like specific instances of witchcraft. So I have never practiced witchcraft. I've never been around any rituals or any of those things, unless if you count, 8 years of Catholic school. I'm not trying to belittle anything. I'm just saying, there is rituals involved. But what I was going to talk about was that I'm convinced that my house when I was little was haunted. Ooh. And my parents told me that when we moved in that 2 people had killed themselves in the house. I don't know if that's true or not, but this is what they've told me, and I've believed it since. And I had this vivid memory of seeing a ghost of the previous owner of the house float through my room and stop next to my bed. I was like 5, not a malevolent spirit, a nice spirit. And I told my mom about it, and then she told me like a few days later that the woman who we had bought the house with from had died the night that I had seen the ghost.
Wow.
Yeah, and then there's like a lot of weird things that would happen in my house. There's like lights would flicker on randomly, and then I remember us finding a cubby in the back of the house that was like covered with like a particle board, and it's just like this weird hole in the back of the house in the basement that people stored like Christmas supplies in. It was just very, very many strange and weird things.
Wow. Did you ever feed a ghost some Cincinnati chili?
No, that was only for Santa.
I learned about that on our Airborne episode.
That's Skyline chili, thank you.
That's right. Oh gosh. Megan, you?
I can't think of anything. That's tough.
I just, for me, I guess I just stayed away from it. And not because I disrespect of anything, but I just think, I don't know, I guess I watched enough horror movies, or you just open something up, you're going to have to deal with it. Like, why open yourself up to anything? I just never wanted to play that role. And I'm not saying anything comes bad from it. Like, I know that people hate that sometimes what Satan is brought in with witchcraft or Wiccan beliefs. I mean, it's a different belief. But for me, growing up, I never really knew the difference between the two because that's what mainstream media sort of forced onto me. Like, I never, when I was 7, going, oh yeah, well, I guess, all witches aren't bad. And like, you just think, that's a bad witch. So yeah, growing up, I never messed with like the Ouija board or spirits or any of that. I just didn't, the risk didn't seem worth the reward. I don't know if there's a reward.
I totally get that.
I mean,
I will say that whenever I was going to really old cities in America, as I would travel growing up, we would always go on whatever the ghost tour was in that town, and I just loved those experiences and hearing the stories, and it really spoke to the culture of the city and the history and who lived in the city at the time and their customs. So that was always interesting. Went on them in Charleston and Savannah and Boston and places like that. I always found that fascinating.
Well, these are some good questions. People came through for us, didn't they?
They definitely did.
I love it. So...
I have one more question.
Oh.
What would David's wiener be for this movie?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is a hard one. So I was thinking about this a little bit, and I wanted to make a black rye bread and then put a blood sausage on it.
With some Kraft ketchup?
Oh, gosh.
Yes. Or the alternative. The alternative is just hot dogs cut up in Kraft mac and cheese.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to love that meal.
That's a crafty
I
maneuver.
still do.
That's crafty.
I know. So, okay, if we're in a Robert Eggers movie, the first one sounds perfect. Like, I would eat that. If I said, David, we're going to watch The Witch together, I'd want that first one you said, with the delicious bread, the blood sausage. But I guess if we're watching Hocus Pocus, I want the hot dogs and Kraft mac and cheese.
I think I like that one.
Yeah, and it's like SpongeBob shaped. It's not like traditional shaped.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Deep blue sea shapes.
Hmm.
Carter Blake sliding around.
I'm sure they've got it somewhere.
Yeah, that'd be great. No, so also make sure to listen to the Award Wieners movie review podcast. I'll let David pitch it, but I just want to let you know if you listen to it, you will learn a lot. Like I don't know, you guys combine a lot of facts, data. When you leave the episode, you'll have learned something. So David, do you want to pitch it real quick before we get out of here?
Yeah, what we do is we're watching all of the Best Picture winners and then making a hot dog recipe based off the film. The movie that we have coming up is An American in Paris with Gene Kelly. I'm very excited for that one. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. All right, so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Megan Hoffmeyer, for David Cross, this is Movies from the Flicks. We'll see you next week.